The morning mist curls around the ancient hollow in Oakwood Hollows, a sleepy suburb nestled in the rolling hills of the Midwest. I'm standing here, Elias Reed, a 52-year-old carpenter, gazing at the grove of ancient oaks that have guarded this land since my ancestors settled it in the 1880s. These trees aren't just wood and leaves. They're a fortress, their gnarled roots clutching the sandy soil, preventing erosion down the steep ravine that cradles our neighborhood. Squirrels chatter in their branches, and the hollow hums with the life of deer and foxes. My grandmother used to say the oaks whispered secrets of the earth. But to Vanessa Hargrove, our new HOA president with a gleam of ambition in her eyes, this hollow was a hazardous relic, standing in the way of her vision for a sprawling apartment complex. She didn't know that cutting it down would awaken a storm of retribution, exposing her greed and uniting us in a fight for survival. This is my story, and the story of Oakwood Hollows, a tale of nature's power and the human spirit's resilience. It started with a letter delivered on a crisp October morning, its red ink glaring like a wound. Violation notice. Your oak hollow poses a fire risk and obstructs community aesthetics. Remove within 60 days or face $800 daily fines. My wife Lila read it aloud, her voice cracking with disbelief. Elias, this is our land. Those trees are older than this HOA. I felt a knot tighten in my gut. The hollow wasn't just sentimental. A 1940s soil survey I'd inherited showed its roots stabilized the ravine, protecting homes from landslides. I'd overheard Vanessa at the summer fair, chatting with a developer about leveling that eyesore for progress. This wasn't about safety, it was a land grab. I gathered evidence, photos of thriving wildlife, a petition with 30 signatures, and a forester's report confirming the oak's health. The HOA meeting was a powder keg, the community center buzzing with nervous energy. Vanessa sat at the front, a queen on her throne, flanked by her board, Martin, who'd gotten a waived garage fine, and Claire, whose landscaping violations disappeared overnight. This hollow endangers us all, Vanessa proclaimed, her voice smooth as silk, projecting a glossy report from a fire expert. It's a tinderbox waiting to ignite. I stood, my hands trembling but my voice steady. That expert's your cousin, Vanessa. These oaks have survived fires for centuries and hold our ravine together. County records prove it. Whispers spread. Old Mr. Grayson, who'd seen the hollow buffer a storm in '76, nodded vigorously. But others, lured by Vanessa's promises of tax cuts from new apartments, wavered. Martin spoke up, avoiding my gaze. Those acorns mess up my driveway. We'd shared beers last month, now he was bought. The vote passed 8-2, Vanessa's smile a dagger. That night, sleepless, I dove into public records. Hargrove Developments, Vanessa's firm, had filed plans for an apartment complex over the hollow. The fire expert was her nephew, flagged for falsified assessments. Worse, Oakwood Hollows sat on unstable shale. The oak's roots were the only anchor. Draining the ravine for construction could trigger landslides. I posted my findings online, but Vanessa deleted them, calling me a troublemaker. A week later at 2 a.m., chainsaws screamed. I rushed out Lila filming as workers felled the oaks. Vanessa waved a court order, emergency hazard removal signed by Judge Morrow. By dawn, the hollow was a scarred wasteland, squirrels fleeing, the ravine exposed. This is the future, she said, leaving. I called forestry officials, but they needed evidence, time we didn't have. The first storm came days later. Without the oak's canopy, rain eroded the ravine, flooding yards. Martin's shed collapsed. Claire's garden turned to sludge. Just bad weather, they muttered. But I called my friend Tara, a geologist. She arrived with equipment, her face paling. Elias, this is bad. Those roots held tons of soil. Now landslides are imminent. We tracked soil shifts. Erosion doubled. Cracked spider-webbed driveways. I shared Tara's data online, but Vanessa banned me again. More homes suffered. Mr. Grayson's porch sank. The Patel's basement flooded. At the next meeting, Vanessa deflected. We're building retaining walls. Tara's readings showed the ravine destabilizing, threatening the whole neighborhood. I confronted Martin privately. Vanessa promised me a cut of apartment sales, he admitted, ashamed. I needed the money. Mr. Grayson posted a turning point online. Those oaks stopped a landslide in '76, saved my house and 3 others. Neighbors shared memories, tree swings, owl calls, quiet walks. Doubt in Vanessa swelled. I dug deeper. Hargrove Developments had siphoned $1 million in HOA funds to her nephew's firm for consulting. I filed with the State Forestry Department. Inspectors arrived, testing soil and interviewing residents. Vanessa retaliated with a PR campaign, labeling me an eco-terrorist. But when Claire's foundation cracked, costing $90K, she flipped, leaking emails where Vanessa offered her a board seat for support. I was wrong, Claire whispered, handing me the files. The community stirred, but Vanessa's power held, until nature struck back. A November storm unleashed hell. Mud and rocks roared down the ravine, burying Vanessa's own model apartment under debris. Her luxury SUV vanished in the slurry. Emergency sirens wailed as homes evacuated. News helicopters captured the devastation, zooming in on flooded streets. At a crisis town hall in the high school gym, residents waved repair bills. "You did this!" Martin shouted. I projected Tara's charts and Claire's emails. Vanessa screamed, "This is sabotage!" But Mr. Grayson revealed bank records. $2.5 million embezzled from HOA funds to Hargrove Developments. The crowd erupted, boos, demands for arrest. Police escorted Vanessa out as she cursed, her empire crumbling. Tara warned. The ravine could collapse further, endangering adjacent towns. The investigation moved with urgency. Tara testified on the Oaks' geological role. Claire detailed Vanessa's bribes. Her nephew confessed to faking reports for profit. Vanessa faced charges of fraud, environmental negligence, and embezzlement, sentenced to 25 years. Her assets, millions in property and cash, were seized to fund restoration. Engineers and volunteers began replanting oaks, reinforcing the ravine with eco-friendly grids. Claire led a reformed HOA, mandating environmental reviews and transparent finances. Legal battles with insurance companies dragged on, denying claims as man-made, but community spirit held firm. A year later, Oakwood Hollows hosted a Hollow Revival Festival. Kids planted saplings, Tara taught erosion lessons. Vanessa's apartment plans dissolved, her firm bankrupt. The new grove whispered hope. Restoration was a marathon. Federal grants covered $20 million, supplemented by neighborhood efforts. Bake sales, tree planting drives, art auctions featuring Hollow-inspired works. Lila and I sowed acorns, watching squirrels return. Neighbors like Martin, once Vanessa's ally, hauled soil, guilt driving their effort. I was blinded, he said, planting an oak. Insurance fights persisted, sparking lawsuits, and some families left, trust broken. But others stayed, bonded by shared struggle. Tara's research drew global attention, making Oakwood a model for eco-recovery. Evenings, Lila and I sat by the saplings, owls hooting. "We saved the hollow," she said. The cost, fractured relationships, ruined homes, lingered, but resilience bloomed. Vanessa's trial exposed a broader scheme. She targeted green spaces in 5 states, amassing $10 million. Our case spurred laws requiring HOA ecological audits nationwide. Claire's board consulted indigenous elders, integrating ancient land practices. The Oaks echoed their wisdom. One day, Claire brought me a photo of my grandmother by the hollow found in HOA files. "You honored her," she said. We hugged, past betrayals fading. The grove drew eco-tourists, reviving local shops. Property values rose not from apartments, but from our living forest. 4 years on, Oakwood thrives. The oaks grow tall, anchoring the ravine. Vanessa, paroled, vanished. Rumors say she's a gardener elsewhere. We host eco-festivals, teaching kids nature's lessons. The Hollow's protected status ensures its safety. The Hollow's revival taught us vigilance. Claire's HOA holds open forums, preventing tyranny. Tara's book, Oaks of Justice, funds conservation. Newcomers learn our story, pledging stewardship. As kids chase fireflies, I see triumph, a community reborn through adversity. Vanessa's greed scarred us, but unity healed us. The oaks stand as proof, disrupt nature, and it reveals truths no one can bury. This hollow isn't just land. It's our soul, whispering endurance. Sunset gilds the oak leaves, their rustle a hymn of hope. My grandmother's spirit lives in every branch, every root. We turned disaster into legacy, proving that when people and nature align, no greed can uproot them. Oakwood Hollow's grove is our heart, beating strong against corruption's tide.